Running backs aren't just workhorses, they're often the heartbeat of an entire team. When they break free for a jaw-dropping run, the stadium vibrates with pure excitement. But some of these moments go beyond simple athletic greatness. They become etched into NFL lore thanks to behind-the-scenes drama, swirling rumors, or controversies that keep fans talking long after the final whistle. Today, we're counting down the top 10 running back plays in NFL history that not only defied belief but also sparked debates and speculation for years to come. From lightning-fast breakaways to heart-stopping stiff arms, these moments will have you questioning how a single human could be so unstoppable. And of course, we'll dig into the whispers that followed, because in the world of football, the story rarely ends once the scoreboard hits 0. Number 1. Marshawn Lynch's Beast Quake. In 2011, the Seattle Seahawks faced off against the New Orleans Saints in a playoff game. Few gave them any chance to win. Enter Marshawn Lynch. With one explosive handoff, he rumbled through seemingly every defender on the Saints roster. Broken tackles piled up like dominoes. The crowd's roar soared to record decibel levels, and the run became so earth-shaking that local seismic instruments actually registered a small tremor, earning it the nickname Beast Quake. Yet what happened after might be just as fascinating. Rumors swirled about Lynch's tension with the NFL because of his refusal to speak to the media. Fines were tossed his way, fueling speculation that the league office and Lynch were at constant odds. Fans, however, saw this controversy as a sign of authenticity, an extension of his run-through-a-wall attitude. Overnight, he became the face of a gritty, no-nonsense Seahawks identity. Even now, the phrase "beast mode" is a staple of highlight reels and marketing campaigns. At the heart of it all stands one legendary run that elevated the underdog Seahawks and forever changed the way fans viewed Marshawn Lynch. Part rebellious anti-hero, part unstoppable freight train. Number 2. Derrick Henry's 99-yard dash. Fast forward to a more recent Thunderbolt moment. Derrick Henry's staggering 99-yard touchdown run against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Towering at over 6 feet and built like a defensive lineman, Henry took a handoff from his own 1-yard line and proceeded to flatten, stiff arm, and outrun every defender in sight. For many, it was a mesmerizing echo of Tony Dorset's run decades earlier, except Henry packed in a few vicious shoves that sent defenders crashing to the turf. This single play triggered all sorts of buzz on social media. Was he a once-in-a-generation freight train? Or did the Titans rely too heavily on him, risking an eventual breakdown? Some corners of the fan base even tossed around doping speculation, convinced no mortal human could maintain that kind of power across 4 punishing quarters. Henry brushed aside the whispers, stating his success came from an intense off-season regimen and unwavering mental focus. Nevertheless, the debate lingers. Does pushing a running back to these extremes shorten his career, or is Henry simply built differently? Regardless of what tomorrow brings, that 99-yard dash is etched into the modern NFL tapestry as one of the rarest, most breathtaking feats a running back can accomplish, reminding us that on any given snap, history can be made. Number 3. Tony Dorset's historic 99-yard touchdown. Long before Derrick Henry, Tony Dorsett stunned the football world with his own 99-yard run in January 1983. It was a Monday Night Football showdown between the Dallas Cowboys and the Minnesota Vikings, a time when primetime broadcasts were must-watch events. Dorsett, smaller in stature compared to modern behemoths, took the handoff from deep in his own end zone, threaded through narrow lanes, and found daylight along the sideline. Fans marveled at the run's fluidity. Dorsett looked more like a sprinter gliding across a track than a bruising NFL back. But behind the scenes, the early 80s Cowboys were navigating internal shakeups and rumors of coaching staff conflicts. Some claimed that future coaching changes overshadowed the team's once dominant reputation, and Dorsett himself, while lauded on the field, occasionally found himself at odds with how the franchise was shifting gears. Even so, on that electrifying night, none of those backstage issues mattered. In a flash, Tony Dorsett cemented himself in NFL history, leaving defenders in the dust and forging a highlight so iconic that fans still reference it in any conversation about the greatest runs ever. Over time, his name continues to surface whenever a running back inches dangerously close to a 99-yard record, proving that some moments truly can transcend decades of change. 4. Adrian Peterson's 296-yard game dominating the ground game doesn't always require one monster run. It can also come from a steady avalanche of yards. Enter Adrian Peterson, who in 2007 gave the Chargers nightmares by rushing for an incredible 296 yards, still the single-game rushing record. Coming off a stellar college career at Oklahoma, Peterson was already touted as a generational talent. But in this particular matchup, he turned those predictions into reality, tearing through San Diego's defense as though they were traffic cones. Not long afterward, Peterson's name became tangled in controversies off the field, including widely publicized disciplinary issues in his personal life. Whispers rose about whether the Vikings would keep him on, and for a moment, the roar from that 296 296-yard game felt overshadowed. Yet Peterson's resilience shined through, and he carved out one of the most prolific careers for a running back in recent memory. The question lingers, does one staggering performance like 296 yards overshadow the swirling drama that came later? It all depends on who you ask. For die-hard fans, that game stands as an untouchable piece of NFL history, proof that on any given Sunday, a truly elite back can redefine the record books. Even those critical of Peterson's off-field controversies usually pause to acknowledge the unfiltered brilliance he displayed that day. 5. Bo Jackson's tunnel run. When it comes to raw athletic talent, few names spark admiration like Bo Jackson. A two-sport superstar whose NFL career was tragically brief, Bo left behind a highlight reel that still drops jaws. One of the most famous moments came in 1987 against the Seattle Seahawks when he took the ball for a 91-yard touchdown dash, then didn't stop. He kept running right into the stadium tunnel as if the field itself could no longer contain his momentum. In an age where social media didn't exist, fans relied on replays and hushed water cooler talk. Bo's run fed endless rumors. Could he outrun any track star? Was he planning to ditch football for baseball full-time? Some even speculated that behind closed doors, certain NFL owners felt threatened by Bo's refusal to prioritize one sport. The tension between owners, coaches, and a dual-sport phenomenon fueled drama that overshadowed an already spectacular career. The abrupt end to Bo Jackson's NFL days, thanks to a devastating hip injury, still leaves fans dreaming about what could have been. Yet whenever that 91-yard run resurfaces, you see a glimpse of an athlete who seemed almost superhuman. For a fleeting moment, he blurred the lines between possibility and fantasy, leaving defenders trailing in disbelief and fans yearning for more. 6. Barry Sanders and the ultimate juke. Some running backs are known for power, but Barry Sanders owned the art of the juke. On countless Sundays, he'd fake defenders out of their cleats, turning sure tackles into comedic whiffs. One run in particular, often replayed in top highlight packages, saw him spin, cut back, and pivot so quickly that defenders practically tackled each other. It was a clinic in how agility and quickness can triumph over brute force. Yet, just as Sanders' moves seemed mystical, his sudden retirement in 1999 left fans equally stunned. Rumors say he was frustrated with the Detroit Lions management and the team's inability to surround him with championship-level talent. Others speculated that Sanders simply wanted to exit on his own terms, unscathed and still at the top of his game. That hush of speculation never really died down. Even decades later, fans debate whether the Lions drove him away or whether he was simply too proud to chase a record if his team couldn't catch a title. Whatever the truth, those dazzling runs are enough to fill entire highlight reels. Sanders might have walked away early, but the lasting image of him leaving defenders grasping at thin air remains a testament to one of the greatest pure runners the league has ever seen. When you talk about unmatched elusiveness, Barry Sanders' name is always first on the list. 7. Emmitt Smith's separated shoulder game toughness. And running backs go hand in hand, but Emmitt Smith's performance against the New York Giants in the final game of the 1993 season is the stuff of legend. Playing through a separated shoulder, Smith carried the Cowboys to victory with over 170 yards on the ground. Every collision must have sent shocks of pain through his entire body. Still, he refused to be sidelined, repeatedly slamming into defenders and willing Dallas toward a crucial playoff seed. In the aftermath of that Herculean display, rumors about contract disputes surfaced. Some speculated that Emmitt pushed his body to the brink, partly to prove his worth to the Cowboys' front office, especially since the team had stumbled earlier that season during his brief contract holdout. Though those internal negotiations occasionally caused friction, no one doubted Smith's dedication to his craft once he returned to the field. That single game not only locked up home field advantage, but it also cemented Emmitt Smith's status as an all-time great. 8. Marcus Allen's 74-yard Super Bowl run. Super Bowl 18 pitted the Los Angeles Raiders against the Washington Redskins, and while the entire game was a near blowout, one play remains etched in NFL history: Marcus Allen's 74-yard touchdown sprint. Allen took a poorly formed handoff, reversed direction, and glided through a stunned Washington defense on the grandest stage possible. For many, it was the dagger that sealed the Raiders' victory, and a mesmerizing snapshot of Allen's vision and speed. Yet behind the scenes, all was not champagne and confetti. Whispers of tension between Allen and team owner Al Davis lingered, even as Allen lifted the Lombardi Trophy. Some claimed Allen's best seasons were cut short because of a personality clash behind closed doors. Others insisted that financial disputes dictated Allen's playing time in later years. To this day, fans debate whether the friction cost the Raiders more Super Bowl appearances during Allen's prime. Whatever the reality, that 74-yard run displayed a running back at the peak of his powers. 9. Jim Brown's unstoppable game. Long before the NFL exploded into the mega entity we know today, Jim Brown was rewriting the record books. In his prime, he was virtually unstoppable. bulldozing defenders as if they were mere inconveniences. One particular performance, often lauded as his greatest single-game display, saw him rack up yards in chunks, leaving linebackers and safeties alike gasping for air. His yard-per-season average, his unstoppable presence, and his lasting cultural impact are impossible to ignore. For those who witnessed his prime, no highlight reel will ever compare to seeing number 32 charge through a hapless defense, rewriting both sports history and cultural norms along the way. 10. LaDainian Tomlinsons' single-season TD record. There's a unique thrill in chasing records, and in 2006, LaDainian Tomlinson made it look effortless. Week after week, he found the end zone, amassing touchdowns at a pace no one had ever seen. Chargers fans celebrated the emergence of a once-in-a-lifetime back who could juke, power through tackles, and even throw the occasional touchdown pass. That 2006 campaign still stands as a gold standard for touchdown production, reminding everyone that in the right system and with generational talent, records can tumble in jaw-dropping fashion. Tomlinson's grin as he crossed the goal line for that record-breaking score is immortalized in highlight reels, a testament to a remarkable year that no fan will soon forget. From Marshawn Lynch shaking the earth to LaDainian Tomlinson rewriting the record books, these top 10 running back moments personify everything that makes the NFL so riveting. Each play seemed to defy logic, sending fans into a frenzy and defensive coordinators back to their drawing boards. But maybe the real magic lies in the stories behind the stats, the controversies, the unspoken feuds, and the backstage uncertainties that add intrigue to athletic greatness.